Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome to a short-ish livery reaction video wrapping up what we've seen so far this week. Now, there were two launches going into this preseason I was really looking forward to, Audi and Cadillac, because, you know, a new name, a new team, new cars, liveries, teamwear, just hoping for something a little bit different and unpredictable. So when Tuesday evening rolled around and I tuned in for Audi's livery reveal, I was pretty excited, I'm not going to lie. And having watched people climb stairs for 15 whole minutes, my anticipation levels were through the roof. Honest, only for the team to reveal the concept livery more or less from the brand reveal they did last year, but with sponsor stickers now included. And you know what? Quite frankly, it's just as bad as I remember it being at that event. That straight line cutoff from the silver to the red and the black looks awful. And as we said, back in that master stream we did when that was revealed, at least angle it to match the rear wing or something. The only saving grace are those red accents around the intakes. They look pretty great, and from certain angles, it does give off Vodafone McLaren vibes. Just don't look at it from the side on. I will say, as a positive, the race suits and teamwear look pretty clean, so that's a win, and it is good to see a lot of sponsors on that car. But overall, yeah, a really anticlimactic reveal given all the hype around Audi's arrival in F1. Now, of course, before someone says it in the comments, this is just paint on a show car, and it really doesn't matter that much. If it's fast, who cares how the livery looks, right? And as many will point out, if it's quick on the circuit, it's going to look good. But still, yeah, very flat about it, and hopefully Cadillac will surprise us at least. We'll see. What I did like, though, was the ambition the team is showing. As always, we were treated to the usual, we will try to be as fast as we can with added words to pad out the event, but the team has definitely got some big ambitions. And when reading lines in the press release like Audi is not here to make up the numbers, we aim to be fighting for the World Championship by 2030 is really good to read. Naturally, any new team will say similar, but I'd rather have that kind of, I suppose, somewhat realistic ambition than, for example, a team coming into the sport and saying something like, we'll be getting podiums in year one and fighting for the title in year two, because for the most part, that's just never going to happen. I mean, to be fair, this shouldn't come as a surprise. It wouldn't look good to sponsors and the board if they said something like, we're going to be awful and trundling around at the back all year, especially when you think about the backing Audi is giving the project. Don't forget, not only have they built an F1 car for the first time, tapping into Sauber resources, I'm sure, but they've also built a brand new engine for the first time, so hopefully it all pays off. But I've got to say, again, the livery, which is the only thing I've really got to react to here, does not look great. Hopefully, it'll look better on track and when we see it in the flesh on the actual 2026 car, and I'm sure we'll get some decent photos for that soon enough rather than the blurry, low-resolution shots we had from the team shakedown. It wasn't just Audi who pulled the covers off their car this week, though, with Haas doing the same on Monday with their traditional digital livery launch. That was a mouthful. This was just a render and apparently does not represent the final version of the car. I know, shocker. Hence, I suppose, why they appear to have rear wheels and tyres fitted to the front. Or is it just me? It just looks very strange anyway. The livery has been described by the team as a bold and dynamic design, and I will say this, it looks very smart and very clean. I am a big fan of this livery. The team also explained that, as we can see, the livery significantly reflects the commencement of the title partnership with Toyota Gazoo Racing, TGR. And while the Japanese manufacturer recently announced a brand new structure with Gazoo Racing and Toyota Racing, quote, incorporating differing remits, I love PR talk, Haas will display the TGR branding throughout this season. Maybe that'll change for 2027, we shall see. It is also good to see that this new rule, the 55% of the surface area of the car when viewed from the side and above has to be covered by paint or stickered liveries, in an aim to increase the visual difference between the cars, seems to be working. That's at least based on what we've seen so far, but it is worth a bit of a caveat here, a warning if you like. With a number of teams reportedly struggling to get down to the minimum weight limit, we may well see some tweaks to these paint jobs throughout testing, so just bear that in mind. So that is the Red Bull, Racing Bulls, Haas and Audi season and livery launches done, but there is still more to come ahead of the private Barcelona shakedown test thing next week, with Mercedes having a digital launch on Thursday, followed by Alpine and Ferrari on Friday. So keep an eye out for those. And just a quick reminder that unless we get a big shock from any of those, I probably won't cover them. And actually, the next launch reaction is likely to be for Cadillac again, unless we get any surprises. But don't worry, there will be other content out in the meantime. As I said last week, I'm just not doing them for every team this year. Sorry if this is a little bit short and maybe seems a little bit pointless to some people, but the Audi launch was one I was really looking forward to, so I was always going to do this video, but having seen it yesterday, it was kind of difficult to really put any words down on paper or even to think of what to say. So, in summary, meh, but the Haas looks great, so that's something. It is worth noting we have also seen the real Racing Bulls car out on track at Imola, and Cadillac also took an all-black version of their 2026 machine for a run around Barcelona, but I don't have many images I can use for that without potential copyright issues. But I have to say, that Racing Bulls looks great out on the circuit. Apart from the massive airbox intake, that looks ridiculous but also quite funny to me. But as I kind of touched on when we saw the Red Bull cars last week, even though on paper the reduction in size this year doesn't look significant, these new cars look noticeably smaller and actually look more like race cars again rather than whopping great HGVs. Also, very quickly, Arvid Lindblad had a spin at that shakedown at the Villeneuve chicane at Imola and ended up in the gravel. The car was obviously recovered and it is unlikely it picked up much, if any, damage, but still, a little bit of a frustrating end to that shakedown for Lindblad and Racing Bulls. That is it for this one then, but let me know what you make of the launch of the Audi livery we'd seen already and the Haas 1-2 in the comment section down below. And on your way down there, please do leave a like on the video and consider subscribing too so you don't miss any future videos or streams. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Formula Sean, and until next time, goodbye.